you were a rich man, what would you do? Today's richest men on earth are Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bernard Arnold, Bill Gates, and Larry Page. Their wealth amounts to hundreds of billions, a shocking amount for an average human being. But even the richest man on the planet today can't come close to the richest man in history. Elon Musk's net worth of over $200 billion doesn't come close to the wealth of Mansa Musa, the richest man in human history. So who is he? Mansa Musa was the king of the Mali Empire in West Africa, whose wealth was said to be richer than anyone could describe. According to University of California Associate Professor of History Rudolph Butch Ware, contemporary accounts of Musa's wealth are so breathless that it's almost impossible to get a sense of how wealthy and powerful he truly was. Aside from being credited as the richest man in history, he was also called Emir of Mel, Lord of Mines of Wangara, and Conqueror of Ganata. The Golden King was born in 1280 into a family of rulers. He came into power in 1312 and he expanded the kingdom so much that it stretched to 2,000 miles. The name Mansa means sultan in the native language Mandinka, and this would be his identity for the rest of his life. During his reign, he expanded the kingdom of Mali. This includes the current-day nations of Senegal, Guinea, Ivory Coast, Mali, and more. He conquered 24 cities and their surrounding districts. The kingdom of Mali was already prosperous, but Musa took it further by using their kingdom's natural resources. Prior to his reign, the kingdom of Mali wasn't known, but this all changed when Musa decided to go on a pilgrimage to Mecca. He literally paved his way with gold. He was the world's biggest gold producer and distributor, almost as if he had the Midas touch. He led one of the greatest caravans to cross the Sahara. It was a moving city through the desert. He traveled with 8,000 courtiers, 12,000 servants, and 100 camel loads of pure gold. Everyone, even the slaves, wore the finest Persian silk and were clad in gold brocade. During his journeys, he built a mosque every Friday and gave away so much gold that it destabilized the economy in some parts of the region for 12 years. Doing this deflated the value of gold. On his way back, he tried to help the economy by borrowing back the gold at extortionate interest rates. Aside from building mosques, he also built universities throughout the kingdom. People came all over the world to study in Timbuktu, making it a center of education. Musa is often credited as the person who started the tradition of education in West Africa. Economists and historians have tried to estimate the value of Musa's wealth. It is said to be around $400 billion, but according to Time magazine, there's really no way to put an accurate number on his wealth. According to them, Musa was richer than anyone could describe. His wealth is sometimes said to be exaggerated, but Mansa Musa is more than just the richest man alive. His mosques and madrasas are still present in Gao and Timbuktu, and Sankore University is now a university with over 25,000 students and has one of the largest libraries in the world, with over 1 million historical manuscripts. Timbuktu became the mythical lost city of gold, with its gold buildings and streets. Even after 500 years, it was a beacon for European fortune hunters and explorers. Many say that his generosity is the cause of his downfall. He gave away so much gold that it nearly wrecked Egypt's economy. It depreciated the value of metal, taking the country 12 years to recover. There are historical accounts that say that he spent and gave away so much that he ran out of it before the journey ended. Lucy Duran from the School of African Studies in London said, "He gave out so much gold along the way that people don't like to praise him in their songs because they think he wasted local resources outside the empire." When he died, the empire crumbled after being inherited by his sons. There are some who credit Augustus Caesar as the richest man in history. Augustus was the first emperor of the Roman Empire and he owned a fifth of the empire's wealth, which accounted for 30% of the gross domestic product of the whole world. As a ruler, he had achieved great administrative accomplishments and military success. He never called himself an emperor. referring to himself as Rome's first citizen. Augustus' power mainly came from the army, which he could afford to pay for with Cleopatra's money. He fought 3 successive campaigns to protect the northeastern approaches of Italy. Octavian defeated Antony's forces twice at the Battle of Actium and another battle in Egypt. He successfully annexed Egypt to Rome, returning to the city triumphantly. Empire entered an era called the Pax Romana or Roman peace. It was a period of peace and prosperity for 200 years. After struggling with conflicts for decades, Rome now had order and stability. He worked to improve and beautify the city of Rome. During this time, several architectural feats were accomplished. He founded cities, endorsed education, and encouraged the arts. This earned him the name the Father of the Country. No matter how rich Augustus was, Mansa Musa is still widely regarded as the richest man to ever live. University of Michigan Associate History Professor Rudolph Ware put it this way: imagine having so much gold as you think a human being could possess and double it. That's what the accounts are trying to communicate. This is the richest guy anyone has ever seen. Emperor Akbar I, Andrew Carnegie, and John D. Rockefeller are all considered to be the richest men in history. Today, the richest men alive are Elon Musk, Bernard Arnold, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates. Will any of them beat those who came before them? Only time will tell. What makes Mansa Musa unique is his generosity, his faith, and his support in education. To this day, the mosques and institutions he built are still present. This is far more valuable than the wealth he accumulated when he was alive, lasting for generations. How about you? What would you do if you were a rich man? Comment below.